I met with Julia Scarlett
Yeah.
yesterday. So she was added to one section of the class a little bit later. So we just connected, and I brought her up to speed on our discussion from last week. Uh, okay, so and then she wasn't able to make it today, so I said I'll record our meeting so she can watch it after the fact.
So you're saying Julia's got a section now?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I think I was muted there, but Julia's taught before, so
Oh yeah, no, I know Julia very well.
yeah.
Yeah, she seemed like much like you guys, lots of experience with the class, which is good for me.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I know Mike can't make it today, and I haven't heard from Barb, but she may be tied up. But we may as well jump into it a little bit.
Yep.
I didn't really give you guys like a formal agenda today. I had a few things to connect with you on, and then I just wanted to hear if you had any pressing concern. I guess what I was gonna go through with you guys today was to just talk a little bit about how we're setting up our WebEx meetings, um, how you can record the labs, the pre-recording of the labs that we had discussed, um, to also set a standing meeting, like a weekly meeting for us over the course of the term that we may or may not want to use all the time, but to give us an opportunity to touch base. And then talk a little bit about skills days and schedules and that sort of thing. So,
Slots.
that sound good to you guys?
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Slots. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, in terms of WebEx meetings, have you guys had much experience setting up your own WebEx meetings, or?
I do it. I've been doing it just as a drop-in, so students come to my room, and that's what we've just decided we're doing with the geomatics as well.
Okay.
And I do it the same way. So I post, my meeting room link,
Yeah.
either a news item or it sits in checklist, and then students just click on it.
Okay.
So I don't send out invitations or reminders.
Okay.
So
And you guys are
And in
comfortable doing it that?
geomatics, we just put it in each week. So Jeff's just copying it, pasting it into each week, so the student can open up week 2, and whoever their teacher is or their section, they'll take them to our WebEx page.
So you just go straight to your WebEx page. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an easy way to do it.
yeah.
I've had I've had like a few kind of meetings like back to back and stuff where people jump in where they're
Yes.
not scheduled. So the option, if you feel like you need to avoid that, you can set specific meetings. But if you don't think that's going to be an issue, people jumping in and out of your room, if your schedule's spread out enough that you don't think that'll be an issue, then just do what works for you.
And you can also block it
You can lock the meeting.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So you tell all the students you need to be in there by the end of the first half hour, otherwise it would be locked, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you know how to? Okay. Anyway.
I haven't done that. Before.
So in the top, right now, if you look on your screen in the top left corner where it says meeting,
yeah.
If you click on that, and you've got lock meeting down at the bottom. So right now, you as the host can lock our meeting so that nobody else can jump in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, then that's.
And because we'd already agreed that if no students show up, that we could get off after half an hour, we can tell the students it will be locked after half an hour, so they won't be surprised if they can't get on.
Right. Okay, great. Well, in that case, you guys are good to go with hosting the labs and that kind of thing. That sounds good. And then in terms of recording, like in your other experiences, have you guys recorded your labs?
I just record lectures. Our seminars will all need to be in person, and that's why I was curious, Paige. We haven't got approval yet. But I record. I don't know what other people do. I record in WebEx, so I just do this. I come into a meeting room, pop up the PowerPoint. I lock it so that I'm the only one, and then I record it. Then I pick up the URL and I put it into D2L. So it's really straightforward.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Um, because I think we should get in the habit of recording the labs for those who don't attend. Even though we'd like to see them attend. There may not be a lot to talk about, but if in case we're covering any material, I think it's a good idea to just make it accessible that way. Um, it's kind of tricky because you want to encourage them to come, right? But at the same time, people are dealing with a variety of constraints. So to try to be
Okay.
mindful, we should get in the habit of recording the labs and having those available. Okay, and then I guess you guys were going to split the recording of the reptile and amphibian ID lab. Were you guys both good with that?
Yep, Paige and I can figure that out. Paige, eh?
Yeah, I'm open to either one. I love both. So
Awesome. Yeah, that's a cool one. Okay. So yeah, for that, I mean, I know Mike shared his work with trees, which is like, he put a lot of time. I don't know if you had a chance to look at his PowerPoint, but he put a lot of
yeah, I
time,
saw some of it.
yeah, he would record individual audio files and kind of and embed that in the PDF in the PowerPoint, right? Um, that's not necessary for this class. You can record yourself offline, just talking over the lab PDF in WebEx, right? That's the way we can do that. You follow what I'm saying?
Oh, don't pre-record it. Just record it as part of the lab recording.
Or no, you can pre-record it. I just mean you don't have to embed the audio files like Mike did. You could just
Oh, yeah.
pre-record it in WebEx.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's whatever your preference is. Okay. Well, you guys have plenty of experience with WebEx, so that makes it kind of easy. I just wanted to make sure we were all kind of on the same page. Um, I guess I'll talk to you a little. Well, did you guys get access to the D2L? Did you see that?
I haven't tried.
Okay, that's okay. It's still a bit of a mess. I'm still moving stuff around, and but you should have it. Oh, Paige, I don't know why you weren't added to it. I think Val, Mike, and Barb were, so I'm putting in a request today for Paige and then Julia as well.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, just heads up over the next couple of days. I'm still fixing it up, so there's some old material on there that I'm still updating. Yeah, but then I guess the issue that is kind of most pressing, or I would think is kind of front and center on your minds, is trying to figure out our skills days schedule. And so I'm still waiting to hear the final numbers on enrollment. And I'm curious, Paige, did you talk about the number of students in common first semester in your meeting with Jeff?
There's between 28 and 31 students in each section.
And how many sections are there?
Must be 4, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11 plus, I don't know if gas and ERJ take eco skills.
Some of them, yeah. Yeah, ERJ. I don't think gas. I'm not sure about gas, but ERJ is in it.
Yes, I think there's 11 common first semester plus ERJ, maybe.
Okay. Okay. So I'll share with you the concept of what we have. Let me just pull this up.
Yeah, Jeff said I think there's 365 students, something like that, plus ERJ and gas.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So you see my Excel file there?
Yeah.
So this is an example layout for skills day 1. Okay. Where we've got access to 2 rooms. So This is this would be room 189, which is a little bit smaller, which has a capacity for 12 students under our current, social distancing guidelines. And then a second room with a capacity of 20, room 211. Okay, those are the two rooms that have been set aside for skills. And so, in theory, we would have these two staggered cohorts, one starting at 8 a.m. and another one starting an hour later. And the reason for doing that is so that we can give our tech, we can manage our day with one tech. You see that? So your tech would be helping or running the activities with the students in the field after the first couple hours of instruction from faculty, and then switch over to the second group and at the end of that hour. So by staggering these two groups, we've got one tech that floats from one group to the next, and then the same thing would occur in the afternoon. So at 3 o'clock and then at 4 o'clock. So essentially you have one cohort coming in from 8 to 4, and then another cohort coming in from 9 to 5. And we would have contact with the students for a couple hours in the morning for the instruction, and then a couple hours in the afternoon. So you'd have 2 faculty per day and 1 tech per day. And then the drilling is just a tour of the drilling facilities. And so that first skills day would cover compassing and photogrammetry along with the drilling. And then we'll just switch tabs here to skills day 2, which looks a lot like skills day 1. It's just the activities are flipped a bit. So in this case, we're following the same schedule. We've got faculty and then a tech. 2 cohorts are staggered again. And then in the afternoon, we flip it where they spend some time with the tech, and then they do their skills showcase with us where we evaluate them. So the same sort of block of time in terms of the number of hours. So it's an 8-hour day, but as faculty, we're connecting with the students in 2-hour blocks. So it's a lot of ground to cover and on each of these days, a lot of material to go through. But it's kind of the most efficient way to try to get, make use of the rooms we have and get as many through as we can.
Well done.
Efficiently.
Yeah, I like the looks of it.
Yeah, well done, Braden.
Oh.
Wow.
Great. Glad you guys are on board. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to feedback from you guys in terms of, like, I hear your concern about social distancing and contact with students, and if there's anything that I can help, any idea you want me to help sort of push forward or support you in that regard, please let me know. In terms of scheduling you guys in, I mean, it would be, I think we talked about it last week, but it would be, a mixed cohort of students. It wouldn't necessarily be your assignment.
Yeah, right.
They'll be signing up. But I mean, in terms of your time on campus, like Paige, for example, I know you're constrained by geom with Jeff, right?
And then I teach blasting math on Mondays.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
Monday, okay. And then
Yeah, 10 to 12, smack in the middle of the day.
Okay, that sort of rules you out for Mondays then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would be out for Mondays as well, Braden.
Okay.
Braden.
Yeah.
And currently, I'm going to say Wednesdays as well.
Okay.
Friday's definitely a wide open because that is an ECOS 13 day currently.
Okay.
We have field, I don't know kind of how our request for face-to-face is going to work out in terms of timing, but you could also, I think probably Tuesday would be my next best day. So Tuesday and Friday.
Perfect.
I'm great Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Thursday's my last choice.
And Mondays out.
And when we're Monday's out because I teach 10 to 12.
Gotcha. So Paige, Tuesday.
Are we booking ourselves in for the same number of hours as we would normally be teaching in the back half? Is that how it's going to work?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the equitable way to do it, and I'm open to your thoughts, is that we do it in proportion with how many sections we've been assigned, right? So, for example, if Mike Frazier's got half the sections, he's going to be in for sort of half of these faculty slots. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you're teaching one section, you'll be in for, I don't know, assuming were 10 sections, just to make it a nice round number. If you've only got one of the 10 sections, then you'd be into 10% of these slots.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that good for you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
But know that from a personal perspective, Braden, it doesn't have to be perfect. That if you need help on another day, to please ask.
Okay.
So, okay.
Thanks for saying that, Val. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll do our best to keep it. Keep it that
of
way.
course. But let's just be a team here. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that attitude. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Good. So in concept, you guys are okay with this idea of how we would run these super busy days?
I mean, it looks great. It's hard to, we're going to have to just execute, right? But there's a plan, and it looks great.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is maybe we're not there yet, and that's completely okay. There's a significant amount of copying, like paper, for some of these activities, and I'm wondering if are we still on that? Are we still providing that, or are we going to say to students, you need to bring your hard copies with you, or, anyway. And maybe I'm a bit premature in that question. I'm just curious.
No, I'm glad you bring that up, and because
Are they going to have hard copies?
That hadn't occurred to me, but I mean, yeah, I think they need to kind of work through those worksheets, right? Particularly like with this, I think with all of these activities. What do you? So I'm glad you.
So are they getting a hard copy manual or digital?
Electronic. It's electronic.
Electronic.
So the
and they're not.
Students who don't have printers won't be able to bring a hard copy necessarily.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if they,
for example, I don't have a printer.
Right.
Yeah. So I think the best bet would be to send them a digital copy, and then have some printed copies ready, and just try to manage the volume so we're not wasting it. But those who need a hard copy should be available.
Yeah, and perhaps talk to Mike or to Josh. Only last year Josh managed all the copying.
Okay.
You might just have to blanket it and say that the hard copies are going to be available, because I can't imagine, a student not, arriving and not having access, and then not having the docs, and we don't have enough copies, and then I'm running around, whatever, right? You can't that kind of stuff, which we used to, that if that happened, you dealt with it, you whipped down, you made a copy, blah, 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 but you're not just we're not doing all that stuff, right?
We're not even allowed for our boot camps the past 2 weeks.
Exactly.
We had to have the papers on the desk. We put them on the night before, so we hadn't touched them before the students did. And then the students had to throw them in the garbage once they had finished with them.
Okay.
Amazing.
So that nobody was touching the same piece of paper in too short a time period.
Wow. Yeah.
So that needs to be thought through more completely. And again, it's probably time to start thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
because if
Depending what the piece of paper is, you could always laminate it, and so then it can be wiped down with a cloth. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. If there's one or two.
A wipe, the wipes. There's big, massive bags of wipes all over the place.
Yeah. All right, that's good, guys. Thank you. I mean, it's funny, right? Like, there's a lot of little practical things that, I got to kind of go through the mechanics of the activities and make sure we're okay on that stuff. So I'm glad you bring that one up. And any other stuff that comes to mind, like, please go ahead and let me know.
We will.
Okay.
So to clarify, so in the labs week 2, we're covering trees, and that's when we're going to be asking the students to choose their mammals and birds so that they can then
I'm trying to figure
jump into the PowerPoints in the next 2 weeks following that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do a sign-up sheet, like a live sign-up sheet on D2L for all the sections.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, so just to have it kind of automated. I've seen it done. So trying to make it so that their sign-up is independent of us. We don't have to go chasing any stuff around too much, but just to let them know that they basically need to sign up right away, right?
Yeah.
So that is on my list of to-dos. And I guess, like, for you guys and for us, for all of us running labs, for those 2 labs, like, I would say, hopefully we get some decent engagement, and the students show up and do their part. If they don't, I mean, are you guys comfortable with, maybe, like, as you flip through the slides, if, say, Mark had the next specimen and Mark's not here, are you guys okay with maybe taking the role of Mark the student to say, like, okay, this is
Oh yeah, definitely.
Great Blue Heron, you can pick up these characters? Yeah, you guys are okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, great. So
Is there I can't remember, is there marks? I've meant to look at that. Is there marks associated with it, like when they used to do their PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, so no.
Okay.
That was what makes this kind of interesting. It's a little bit of an experiment, right? Can we get these guys to do something? But I mean, there's a couple of things. One is they're green, right? They're new, and so
Yeah.
maybe there's a chance to kind of hook them, which would be great. And I know there's been quite a bit of information published about how, in adult education, and particularly in virtual in teaching environments, there's a lot of value in handing some of the teaching responsibilities over to the students. Like, it's been sort of shown to be a good way to get them engaged. So seems like a cool idea to try, right? Like, let's see what happens.
I like it.
Yeah. This is it's all new ground anyway, so
Yep.
why don't we give it a whirl?
So when I was just trying to remember how we had said that was going to run. Students are going to talk about some of the birds and mammals, and then we were going to talk about the other ones, or were we just having them test how well they know it?
Yeah, so I think, like, you would get every student in your section would get one species, right? And
yeah.
So I guess you're controlling the PowerPoint slide, right? So it's the PowerPoint.
Yep.
So you flip.
And then we're going to talk about the ones that are not chosen by a student.
Exactly. You just fill those.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll give them a few minutes to try and figure out what the species is, and then we're going to say, okay, this is what it is, and we'll talk about it.
Yes, exactly. So give them a chance to do a bit of a practice test that way, right? So,
And then did we say we're gonna put them on the skills? We're gonna put them on an exam at the end. Is that what we said? Or no?
So
any bird ID? Did we say we were going to include some? Bird
yeah, we were
ID?
going to add in a little bit because of the way the testing's going to be.
Yeah.
In the showcase, like it.
Yeah, in the showcase that we would put bird ID in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Birds and a couple of mammals or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So that kind of pushes them to learn it, even if they find a way to be resourceful and look them all up on the ID test, and we're still testing them live.
They're still being tested on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll let them know that you're going to be tested on this again on your skills test at the end. So you really do want to know it.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe I'm just wondering too if we could if we also as a faculty team could have a conversation if we think, okay, seriously, don't put this bird on because I totally missed it. Like,
Oh yeah, my description, I blew it or
yeah,
whatever.
like, okay, this
yeah.
one, don't do it because I mixed them up or I didn't get back to it or I went past it. I let the students that were present who were ready to go, they all went, we didn't finish, whatever, right? That,
For whatever reason, it's not a fair bird.
yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah.
You mean to not put that one on the ID quiz or on the final test? The ID.
No,
On
on the
the-
quiz at the end that we could, I mean, I
skills
remembered
test
it.
at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And skills.
Yeah.
Sure.
And just if that weird stuff happens, that we'll let you know. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one, Val.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay.
We make mistakes sometimes.
well, I'm also just thinking that if I've got students that are there and they're ready to go, that's going to be the priority for me.
Yes.
Right? That they get to do what they were prepared to do. And so if I don't if I go, okay, great, everybody's here, you know, we all went and we're out of time now, I'm not going to just whatever, like we could potentially miss a few birds, right? And then I'll say, okay, cool, now I'll do all the ones that we missed, but I'm going to be last and they're going to be first. That's all I'm thinking.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we've asked them to have something ready and they're ready. And so I think that they go first, but anyway, whatever.
Sure.
That's just management. So
yeah. And I'll get all these files together for those two labs, and then for your like pre-recording labs, the labs that you're going to pre-record. So for you guys, will be the reptiles and amphibians. Get all those files together for you guys to have them in advance. So probably the best way to share that might be on the D2L page, just make them available for you on the D2L page, the PowerPoint files I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's already a PowerPoint file with the sounds already attached to each slide.
Yeah.
With the which, sorry?
I used it last summer when I taught the dual credit students.
There's a reptile and amphibians PowerPoint already, Braden.
Yeah. I just mean I want to make sure you have access to it in advance. So I just want to.
Yeah, so just take a look at it, see if it's going to change at all. But otherwise, we should have access to it already.
Okay. Where would you find? Would you guys have access to it? I guess that's my question. Are you able to get it?
Mine will be on my H drive, which I can access.
Okay, so you have copies. Okay, so if anything,
I have no idea.
Okay, so I'll go through them because some of the instructions and stuff changes. I just want to make sure we're all working from the same version,
Sure.
So I'll get those to you guys. But yeah,
because I'm hooked up to my office computer right now, and I do have copies of it there.
Right. Okay. I'll make sure that we're squared away with the kind of up-to-date copies.
The same version. That's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, just Paige, while you and I are both here, I wonder if we want to just think about that you and I meet in WebEx and we share that screen and then we just go back and forth about who's talking and go through the slide. And then it's one comprehensive video stream for students because it is called Reptiles and Amphibians, right? Versus, that makes sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So,
yeah, because right now, yes, it's amphibians reptile lab.
Yeah, like all together in one thing. So I'm just thinking, unless again, then we'd have to split it and then split the recording, and there's 2 recordings for students. Leave it all together, and it's us who does. From Braden, we'll have a little look, and then we can decide how we want to do that. What week is it?
It's got the amphibians first, and then it's got the reptile first.
6, I think. It's one
Okay.
of the last ones, so you got a little bit of time to.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll sort that out.
Yeah, 5 or 6. I think it's 6 though.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. Well, you guys are on it. I mean, there's no real kind of issues to work out too much. I do want to get to you with the field skills day scheduled as early as I can to allow people to plan this stuff. So, hopefully in the next. Well, I mean, I guess the goal for that Jeff had was that the signups would take place just after day 10 of the semester. Did he communicate that to you, Paige? Was that still his plan?
Yes, I think he said the beginning of week 3.
Yeah.
The idea, I think, week 3 they'll be signing up for everything.
Okay. Yeah. So, is he planning to give you your schedule, your assigned days before that, or? Did
He didn't actually say.
Okay.
What we kind of left it at is, as I left the meeting, is when he had a better handle on how the second half was going to run, then we were going to have another meeting and talk about it.
Okay. Okay. I guess
So,
just want to have.
it's still up in the air how it's all going to run at this point.
Okay. I want to have you guys as early as possible so you can plan for that. But I may get you in before Jeff, so then he has to work around skills to get.
Yeah, snooze, you lose.
Yeah, that's it. But I think in concept, the earlier the better, just to
Sure.
give everyone a chance to plan. So.
Have the skills again? Has it been approved that they can go face to face? Have you got approval?
In terms of the students, or?
No, that it's actually going to be permitted to happen in person.
Yeah, I've been given that sort of green light from Tanya, but.
And how long ago did you get that?
Ooh.
I'm sorry, this is a different. I'm asking a different question because we haven't been given approvals yet, and I'm wondering. This is interesting to hear that people are being told that they can be face to face inside, and all of my requests are for outside, and I haven't been given permission yet. So have you had permission for a little while?
Yeah, I mean, we had a call.
Okay.
Maybe like early in the month of August, where it was sort of given the green light, like, hey, this is what we're doing. But
wow,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about what you mean by approval. Is it like a formal
senior management team? In my understanding, has to approve all face-to-face instruction. So somebody put forward the request that these skills days would happen. They're in-person instruction,
right?
Safe work plans had to be written for how this is going to be executed.
Okay.
So somebody has done that, and I'm just curious because we've done that, but we don't have approval yet. Meaning the program that I coordinate. So anyway, that's fine.
Okay. Sorry,
I'm just curious.
I don't know all of the background because
that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
I just know for geomatics. Yeah, geomatics. I know that the 2 days are approved, but it still hasn't been 100% decided how we're going to have 31 students inside yet in a computer lab.
That's your safe work plan. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so that part hasn't
happened.
Because how we did the boot camps is we just opened up the walls between 32, 33, and 34.
Oh, cool.
But that means one section is taking up 3 rooms in one day, so you can't have multiple sections. So they still have to figure the logistics out for that.
Fascinating. It's just really good to kind of hear what is, how people are making this work, for all different purposes. So thank you. Just curious. I
was just surprised the classes were set to 31 students when we are going to be doing that.
Yeah, that is surprising for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they were going to be smaller sections.
Well, and I would think, Paige, that space my understanding again from Plant Property is that each physical space on campus has a factored number of maximum students that can be in that space to maintain physical distancing. So
Yeah, those classes are 12, 12, and 11 for the computers. They're already set up that way. They have station numbers on them. The other computers are not functioning.
yeah, so the
So
disconnect is the number of people that are in that section and the number of people that can fit in the space, right? That's
Yeah,
the
because the
disconnect.
two outside rooms, 332 and 334, the way the rooms are set up,
Mm,
the little aisles, you can't even use most of it because the students are too close back to back, whereas
right.
333 is amazing for social distancing. It's a really good room to be using.
Interesting.
So they already predetermined this 6 feet between each seating, what seats can be used in the room. So it's 12, 12, and 1 is all they can hold.
Interesting. Anyway, sorry, we digress.
No
I
problem.
apologize. Just
Yeah.
curious.
No, no.
Don't have all.
These are all questions we want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I don't have all the answers. I just
Oh, don't worry about it. That's okay.
Train, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Just a good conversation.
Yeah.
And I only know a little bit more because I'm teaching with Jeff, who also happens to be the coordinator.
Right.
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 And we had the boot camps inside, so I know what we were given permission for when we ran those this week and last week.
Right. Okay.
But the students were great.
Good.
Only one section, when they sat down at the computers, took off their masks because they were stationary and not sharing, but which made it a little twitchy going up to helping them. But the other sections, students kept their masks on at all times, didn't even want to take them off. It was great.
Perfect.
So it made it feel very safe for everybody.
That's good.
That's great. One thing
They were not sharing objects, which was nice too. They sat at the same desk for both days. Nobody else sat at the desk. If we wanted to touch their mouse to help them, we completely wiped the mouse down, touched it, and then completely wiped it down again.
Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Good. Well laid out protocols for this.
Yeah, and the students were all like, there was no friction anywhere. It was fabulous.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
But it gives me good faith in our society, the way people seem to be like mindful and respectful, of this idea that, hey, let's be careful. I mean, I find
For sure.
Yeah,
people
it's luckily becoming common enough to do all of these actions that it's now, like Kendra and I were saying, even when we were the only two in the hallway at one point in the afternoon, but we were still social distancing, walking on the right side of the hallway where the footprints were.
Yeah.
Like it's just becoming so normal now to do that.
That's right.
People listen and pay attention, which is good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Are there any other things, kind of questions burning in your mind that you'd like to bring up, or was okay for the moment?
No, I'm good for the moment, especially as I think we have that little bit of benefit that there's no lab next week, which gives us more time to breathe and think about our questions.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
I need to get
help with D2L. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you need help at all, if anything in D2L, Braden, I do a lot of stuff in D2L.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. I might have the odd email I'll send out. Hey, what am I doing with this? I've been playing quite a bit last couple days, and there's a lot of stuff you can do. But
it's amazing the stuff you can do in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll definitely reach out if I have hit a wall. And so here's something I wanted to just float by you guys is that maybe not on Monday coming, but the following Monday, like the 14th, and for the couple weeks after that, the 14th, 21st, 28th, I would like to set a standing meeting just for an hour, which we may or may not feel we need to use, but I just would like to pencil people in for a tentative chat, just to maybe kind of, touch base, flush things out. Maybe I've run into some stuff that I'd like to discuss, or maybe as you guys get into your labs, you have some questions that come up. Is that okay with you guys? I don't want to take up everyone's time, and I won't I won't require us to meet if we don't need to. But are you okay with that?
As I said, I teach 10 to 12, so
okay.
If it can just be just before that or soon after that, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, I teach from 9 to 10, so
Okay,
that's already, so for
So
me, it
maybe
has to,
12 o'clock.
sure. Like 12 to 1 or 1 to 2. Is that?
I'm in class from 1 to 2, so I could do noon to 1 or noon to 12:45.
Okay.
12, yeah, but noon
And I
works for
could do after 2 o'clock on Monday.
I'd prefer noon.
Okay.
Okay. So noon to 12:45. It sounds like you got you got a busy schedules on Monday, so we'll be efficient. But just I think it's useful to have it there because we're breaking a bit of new ground on some stuff, and
Yeah,
things can come. So maybe I do.
get our quick questions in that are easier to do than by email.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll
Um,
put that in for a few weeks, and we'll see how it goes.
okay. And just know, Braden, that we met every week historically.
Oh, okay.
So it's not an unrealistic expectation. And then we just looked at what happened that week, and then we looked at what was coming up.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
I don't think that that's an unrealistic expectation to have. So
Okay, great. Then in that case, why don't we just keep it going for the term then? And,
yeah, and again, sorry, that's my take. And some weeks people can't come or they don't feel that they need to come, and so carry on, right?
Right. Yeah.
But that it's there if people need it. So
Yeah, I like it.
Sorry, please.
I like it.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I think it's a good plan for the
I think
first
it's a
half,
great plan.
especially
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of change.
as we're learning more stuff about the back half.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it. Awesome. Okay. I'll put that in there, and just guys, I appreciate your great attitude and helpful insights. From your previous experiences, it's really helps kind of steer some of this. So I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
I have a question before we disappear.
Yeah.
How do we change our backdrop in WebEx? They were saying at the one of the meetings we had, I think it was the last Friday, when they were saying, don't show your home, make it, a set backdrop or something.
Okay.
Have you guys done that yet?
Yeah, I did that because mine's blurred. So they don't want it blurred. They want something else, Paige.
So instead of being able to see my wall and behind where I'm sitting, some people have had like a picture,
Yeah.
like a wallpaper, whatever the word I'm trying to find.
You have to go back to the WebEx homepage. And
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. It's called settings or something on the screen. And
I'll look around again because I was looking at it this morning and couldn't find it.
it's right at the very, I can recall, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the settings, but it's right, what I recall is when I brought that, it's right at the bottom. Like you have to, whatever icon it's connected to, it's at the very bottom of it.
Okay,
So-
cool. I'll look again then.
Yeah.
I'm just looking now. If I see it, I'll send out some.
Okay, perfect. Because I was looking at it this morning and could not find it.
Yeah. There's a surprise.
That's great.
Yeah, because I went to preferences and everything, and
Okay.
who knows? Okay, perfect.
We'll get that out to each other. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
very much.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Good
Yep.
luck, ramping up to next week, and we'll be in touch. Huh?
Yep.
Okay,
When's your
perfect.
are you going to lecture? Sorry, Braden. Are you going to lecture live or record and then Q&A live? What are you doing in your live?
I'm gonna lecture live.
Okay.
Record it, but
Yeah.
I kind of want to push them to
Come.
come. Yeah, live
Okay.
interaction.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys.
Peace. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Enjoy the weekend. Yep. We're back next week.
Sounds great.
Carry on.
All right.
See ya.
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.